In this video, I'm going to talk why I feel nervous while watching UFC events or even MMA in general.
Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
So, I'm a casual fan of MMA and I have been watching MMA for 2 years or something like that.
It's time!
I recognize a lot of people, recognize a lot of fighters,
Leon Edwards!
I recognize a lot of analysts.
This is as bad of a push as I have ever seen.
However, I feel nervous while watching MMA shows. Why is this? There are 4 main reasons.
Relaxed and smiling. Oh no! He slapped him!
So number 1 is favoritism. I want to see some fighters win and some fighters lose. This is particularly not because of what I feel about the fighters, but rather how they perform. Since I'm a casual fan, I've been a fan of many sports and we often like the teams that are performing well, right? And so the fighters who are like performing so well, I think we gravitate towards them. I can say that I like a lot of top fighters and I know some of their styles, but I am not technically familiar with how they perform. I am not a fighter myself and I do not train for the fighting. I have very little knowledge about the technicalities of how the fighters fight. However, as a fan of the sport, I have some liking. Someone performing some unorthodox moves, I really resonate with that because I haven't seen something like that, right? So I will feel, okay, he's doing something great. That's why we like Zone Jones because he's performing some unorthodox moves and they contribute to how much following they have, right? Second is excitement. Because the fight can be so unpredictable and uncertain, we do not know what happens in a certain time. Like for example, one lucky shot or one lucky kick might end the fight. I was so excited and nervous while watching the fight between Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson. In the second round, he got knocked out with some unorthodox kicks, front kick, right? The game is so unpredictable. That's why the excitement is there, and I think this contributes to why I feel nervous while watching any fight because at any moment, my favorite fighter could get knocked out. So the third thing is hype. When there is a fight coming up for any event, then there are a lot of videos regarding that particular event. So a lot of people will analyze the fight, predict the fight, get to see a lot of stories of the fighters itself, and that's why we feel connected to them and we kind of feel hyped up for the event itself. So with that hype, I think I feel kind of excitement and nervousness at the same time for the fight event. So the last thing is I care about the results too much. I want some of the fighters to win. I know their stories through all the hype and all the videos that I've watched. I start to care about the results. If some of the fighters win, then they will have a title shot at the next bout, right? Or if some fighter lose the fight and they will lose the opportunity to fight for the title, or the fighting era of that particular fighter may end. So that's a very sad thing. That is why I care about the fighters and the sport in general as well. So whenever the fight is happening, I tend to gravitate towards the results that is much more favorable to the sports and the fighters itself. So for example, someone who is young and can afford to lose. So I'm not saying that anyone can afford to lose, but someone who is young and can bounce back, if they lose, then I will not feel that nervousness. Or if someone young is fighting someone older, then I'll probably feel so much nervousness for the older guy because if he loses the fight, then I think his career will be over. I'm so tensed about that, and I think the care for the result is what causes the nervousness in me. So these are my 4 things that makes me nervous as a casual fan while I am watching any event MMA event or UFC event. So that's it for today, and I hope you like the content, and please subscribe the channel if you find this interesting, and see you on the next video.